You guys, this is how I learned how to make Escovitch Red Snapper Fish. I love island food. So what I found out from watching other YouTubers, I'll put their names below, is that you really do have to clean your fish very, very well. You need to rinse it off. I got this from my Whole Foods Market whole. This is about a 2-pound fish. They already gutted for me, and then he said that he descaled it for me, but I did see some scales still on there, so I'm making sure that it has been gutted properly. I'm going on the inside and I'm pulling out some things that I don't know if should be there or not, but I'm pulling them out anyway. So I want to make sure that I don't have any guts or anything that shouldn't be there in there. So I'm just rinsing it off, pulling out what I think shouldn't be in there, rinsing very, very, very well. Okay, now I'm going to go in with some kitchen scissors and I'm going to cut off those fins. I'm going to trim them down as low as possible. So the side fins, the fins at the very top, like the spine of the fish. I'm even going to cut off the tail, make it a little bit shorter. And just be very, very careful, you guys. These fins are super sharp. They will cut you. Ask me how I know. These fins are super sharp, so be careful when you're handling this fish. But you do want to cut off all of those fins there, the underside, everywhere that you see fins. Just get them all off with the kitchen scissors. All right, now I'm going in with just a regular butter knife and I am going to finish descaling this fish. Like I mentioned, the market, they said that they descaled it, but I did see a few or felt a few scales left on the fish. So you want to make sure that all those scales are gone because they are very hard. You don't want to eat those scales. I don't know if it'll harm you in any way, but they're very hard and rough and hard to chew and you may get caught in your throat. I'm not sure, but I just made sure to descale them under running water. I just made sure that all the scales weren't popping all over my kitchen. Maybe professionals will completely submerge the fish underwater and then descale it, but I just found out that doing it this way was perfectly fine. I didn't have too many scales popping all off, but you want to gently just pop those scales off. It's very, very easy, but go from the tail all the way to the top of the head and just rub your butter knife just gently, 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 and they will come off with no problem. Now you want to go in and you want to rinse, rinse, rinse. This fish is going to be cleaned several times, okay? So you want to rinse those scales off, dump them down the garbage disposal, get rid of those fins, keep rinsing your fish to get it clean, but making sure that all of the scales are off. You want to make sure that your fish is as clean as can be. So you see I'm gathering up those fins because I don't want to put those down the garbage disposal. And then I'm going to clean my sink and get rid of all those scales on the side and then put my fish back in the roasting pot and just finish washing it, rinsing it down several times. Now, this next step is truly an island thing. I'm going to take a lemon. They usually use limes that I've seen in the videos, cut it in half, and they clean their fish and their meat with lemons and or lime. So you want to get that acidity, that juice from the lemon and the lime. You want to rub it all over your fish. There's something about the acid in lemons and limes that really break down all of the slime, the gunk, the dirt, the whatever is stuck on that fish. It'll get it off. And I believe that it adds more flavor, more tenderness to your meats and your seafood. So I am literally scrubbing this fish with the lemon, and I'm scrubbing it on both sides from the head to the tail, and I am using both of the halves of the lemons to do so. As I was rubbing this fish down, I got poked with a few more fins and I decided to cut them off. I actually also saw some extra skin or membrane that was inside of the fish, and I'm pulling that out at this time as well. So yeah, just dissect your fish, rub it all over, and you will see what you left off and what needs to go. After you let that fish sit for a few minutes in the lemon juice, then I decided to go ahead and rinse it off, dump it out again. I'm going to rinse the fish one more time, making sure that it's properly clean and ready to go to put into our cast iron skillet. So after this fish has been thoroughly cleaned, now I'm just going to pat it down with some paper towels, just to remove the excess water. Just a little bit, just patting it a little bit. Because I'm preparing to now put slices on the sides of the fish, and this is where our seasoning is going to come in. So you're going to put slices, you'll see in just a second, put slices on the side of the fish, and we are going to pack this fish with some good seasoning. So you want to make your slices in the fish about 1/4 of an inch deep, 1/4 to a half an inch. You just need a little slice there in order to put seasonings down in there because it helps the fish to have flavor from the inside out. So the seasonings that I'm using for this fish are going to be listed down below in the description box. But I just wanted to talk through it a little bit. I did not have my typical jerk seasoning or island seasoning, so I kind of had to make it up on the fly. So I used my real sea salt. I used allspice, which is basically just ground up pimento seasoning or pimento. And allspice really gives it an island jerky flavor. Then I use this sunshine seasoning by Tabitha Brown because it also has some island seasonings. In my opinion, it has mango, ginger, garlic, thyme, a bunch of other things that I would typically use in my Caribbean dishes. I'm also using my typical garlic powder. I'm going to use my onion powder. And how many know that you cannot go wrong if you are using thyme on any type of island dish? You are in the right spot. Oh, but I'm showing you this celery seasoning, and the only reason why I'm using celery seasoning is because I smelled it and I'm like, oh yeah, when you smell your seasonings and you say this is going to be good, it's going to be good. So now I'm using my seafood fish seasoning. It's called Old Bay. I'm putting that in my bowl, and I think I'm now going to show you the thyme. Thyme is a must. You can use fresh thyme or dried thyme. Fresh is always the best. So add that to your bowl. Then you're going to mix it up, stir it up, and then you're going to add it to your fish. So it's a must. Make sure you pack those slits with the seasoning that you just created. You're going to pack those slits with seasoning. You're going to rub the seasoning all over the side and the body of the fish. But you're also going to put it on the inside where the guts were removed. You're going to open it up and you are going to put the seasoning right in that pocket. See there, look how good that fish looks. It is well seasoned. I am actually going to rub some more on the head. I'm just going to make sure that this fish is well coated with the seasonings that I created. Okay, now we got our cast iron skillet ready. It's already heated up with the oil that we put in there. I chose to put coconut oil as well as olive oil, that mixture in this cast iron skillet. You can use whatever oil you choose. Now go ahead and make sure it's hot, the oil is hot, and just place your fish in your cast iron skillet. But look, that fish was so big it will not fit in my cast iron skillet. And I realized, oh Lord, I need to take this out and cut it in half. So that's what I did. So I cut the fish directly in half and then it magically fit in my cast iron skillet. Hey, do what you have to do to make your fish fit, to make it work for you and your cooking tools that you have. Just do what you have to do. While your fish is cooking in your skillet, go ahead and chop up your vegetables. I used a red bell pepper, green bell pepper, garlic, onion, and I did not have access to a Scotch bonnet pepper where I live. They didn't have it in the store, so I am using just a habanero pepper. I'm also going to show you in just a little bit that you want to slice up your carrots. The carrots give it a slightly sweet taste. These vegetables, this is what makes it escovitch, okay? You have to, I guess, julienne the peppers or your vegetables. You want to make them in strips, basically. You're going to make everything to be in strips. And then you're going to add it after your fish is done. So our fish is cooking. It's going to cook on both sides for about 5, 6, 7 minutes each side. You just need to keep checking on it. But it doesn't take too long to cook this fish, but you do want to make sure that it's cooked all the way through. Okay, so this is an actual julienne tool that I bought from the grocery store, and it just helps you to create those slits in your vegetables better. It's really, really good for carrots. I mean, there is a chef's technique. So what I didn't show you was that I had already previously turned over our fish. The fish does stick to the bottom of my cast iron skillet. I probably need to season it better so that there's no sticking involved. But now I am about to remove the fish from the cast iron skillet. I let it cook on both sides, like I mentioned, for 5 to 6 minutes. And now I'm just going to remove it and place it on a plate and set it aside, because we are going to use this oil to cook our julienne vegetables that we just chopped up. All right, so go ahead and add your chopped up vegetables to the same oil that you just took your fish out of, and we're going to saute our vegetables for a couple of minutes. And all of that flavor from the fish is going to get infused into these vegetables. That's what makes this so amazing. I'm telling y'all, it may look like I tore up that fish, but when I tell you that this is the best fish that I have ever had in my life, it really is. And it is the technique that I'm going to show you next, of adding the seasonings. That fish oil is getting infused. And then we're also going to add 3 tablespoons of vinegar to this. And when I tell you chef's kiss, chef's kiss, I can only imagine that if I practice this dish more, how amazing it's going to be. Praise the Lord. Is this what mom shouting? Oh yeah, I would shout too. Okay, so here you can see that I'm adding the remaining seasonings to our vegetables. This was left over from the fish. And I let it saute for a couple of minutes, and you can see that now I am adding distilled white vinegar, adding 3 tablespoons of white vinegar to our vegetables. After it's been cooking about 2 or 3 minutes, the vegetables have gotten a little soft. This vinegar adds a bit of tanginess, and that mixed with the spiciness of the seasonings, that habanero, and the sweetness of the carrots, baby, amazing. Please try this and let me know. All right, so our vegetables have been cooking for a good 5 minutes or so. I mean, you know the doneness that you want your veggies to be. Not too soft, but not too firm. Now what we're going to do is just top it off. We're done with our meal. We have our fried fish. We are going to put these veggies right on top of this fried fish. And the combination, Lord Jesus, of the fresh seafood with the Jamaican seasonings on the fish, and these vegetables with the vinegar and the just everything. I'm a vegetable and meat type of girl, so I love this dish. I love it. I love it. I love it. If you are native from the islands, okay, and you have any advice for me, what I did right, what I did wrong, please kindly put them in the description or in the comment section and let me know. Give me tips and tricks. I always love to learn. I hope you try this and you enjoy it. This is amazing. Put it side of avocado. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.